Well, I'm really happy that the musicians, that we musicians are finding an outlet for creativity and that people are watching it. But there's a much larger question. There was an article, I forget, it was maybe in the New Yorker, I saw it today online or something, but it was about the future of the restaurant industry. And that, will it come back? Can it come back? How will it come back? And maybe it's time for a huge reshuffling of the whole concept of what a restaurant is, believe it or not. And I think in terms of performing and making a living from performing, the rug has been pulled out from all live musicians, for decades now. And YouTube, as much as we all love it, and I'm the first one to say that I use it all the time, um, is really kind of a horrible thing in a certain kind of way because there's no money for the people who created this stuff. And so I'm glad about the streaming, of course, because it keeps everybody going and alive. That's vital, so you can get out of bed in the morning. But I'm looking forward to a much larger discussion about what the real import of this crisis is and what's going to happen with people who are so passive. And even the Rare Jazz Photos group is a symptom of this. Looking at pictures, listening to old records, all that stuff. How many of us who do those things think about using any part of our income? And granted, it's a financial crisis across the board now for most people. But even $1 a day, a darn dollar a day towards an artist or an artist's organization to somehow get money to these people. That's what kind of preoccupies me. And I'm hoping that at the end of all of this, something will shake out that will redress or will address this real injustice. Not to get too heavy about it, but that's really what I think. Yeah. So right now, great. Stream, play, contribute to people's accounts and do what you can. But if it's possible, let's look at the larger picture about starting to support musicians with your own money and not being so passive. I mean, very few people vote in this country. We wonder why we're in the situation we're in, regardless of which side of the political fence that you're on. People feel aggrieved wherever they stand. And it's because most, a huge percentage of people don't have the whatever to get out of bed on vote day and go vote. And so I guess what I'm saying, to get back to you, Brett, and our broadcast here, is we also have to vote with our funds when it comes to supporting these musicians. So anyway, if the Rare Jazz Photo Group, largely writ, can be seen to represent something or a gathering place, I hope it might be a gathering place for people with a passion for this art form, and then nudge them in some way to support the people whose pictures they love to look at.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I have a love-hate
Yeah.
relationship with YouTube. I love the access to the content. I am very bothered by the fact that most musicians get absolutely nothing for anything that appears on YouTube.